Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have a great interview today. I have somebody who I've been watching for a long time on the internet, YouTube, and I'm so glad to be talking to him. This is Tom Avery. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Paul. I've watched your videos too over the years, and I appreciate what you're doing, promoting raw vegan and growing fruit trees. Very good.
Yes, Tom, it's so great, and it's just a matter of time since we're both in Florida before we meet up. But Tom, you're an inspiration because you are 75 years young, and you didn't grow up. I want you to share your story, but you've been for the last 16 years pretty much on a raw vegan diet and rocking it, and your videos are going amazing. I'm going to put a link below. But recently you had a new discovery and you changed some things up. Before we get into all that in this interview, Tom, please briefly introduce yourself to my audience, and then we'll get more into the details.
Okay. Um, I'm a tennis professional by trade. That's my occupation, and I've been doing that for over 45 years. And I actually got into raw food through Dr. Doug Graham. I read 80-10-10 and did it overnight because I was having physical problems and I couldn't function in my occupation. I couldn't toss the ball to hit a serve because I had what's called frozen shoulder. So after reading his book, I said, well, let me try this raw vegan diet and see if it helps. Because I've always kind of been into natural since I was in my early 30s. But I was still eating a lot of junk and animal-based products. So I did that vegan diet strong. I mean, to the T, using a lot of Doug's recipes for about 4.5 years straight. My wife did it with me, which was great. So I had good support. And after that, I had a lot of stress in my life because both of my parents died within 19 days. And I was looking for a little comfort, I guess. And I started to eat some cooked food at night. I got hooked into raw till four a little bit, but it was nothing really that bad. Sweet potatoes, maybe some regular potatoes, or maybe a little rice and beans once in a while. But 95% of my diet was fruit. Fruit for breakfast, lunch, all day long. I can eat fruit without a problem. At night, sometimes I would crave something, a little more savory or whatever. So that went back and forth, and I would go for months and months raw, or maybe do a little raw till four. And, I was maintaining pretty good health. But to get to where I am now, let me just jump to I was under a lot of stress. I wasn't eating as well as I should. I had some cooked food and I contracted shingles, which is something you can get if you've had chicken pox when you were a child. And I had chicken pox.
So wait, so if you don't have if you never had chicken pox, you can't get shingles?
No, I don't think so. No,
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah. And actually, let's say you touch somebody who had shingles. If you touched one of their lesions, you would actually get chicken pox first. And then shingles comes out later in life. Most people get it when they're older, 70s, 80s, and your immune system maybe drops a little. It's not as strong. And because I was under a lot of stress and I wasn't eating as well as I should have, I got the shingles. And it was a very severe case. I had it on my torso, on my left side, in the front, wrapped around my side, all the way to my spine in the back. and it's the worst thing I've ever been through. It's horrible, and you're in a lot of pain. You can't function. I couldn't teach tennis. Was struggling, financially because I wasn't teaching.
And how
And
long ago was this?
this was, I can tell you to the day, March 19th, it'll be 9 months ago that I got it. I felt a little tingling on my side. And next thing I know, I see these pimples and then they turned into lesions and so it got so bad that I had to go to the ER and get painkillers. Another thing I
Wow,
hate,
how long had it been last time in all these years that you've been on a raw diet? Had you ever been to a doctor or been sick all
I,
this time?
I think we should take care of our own health. And the only time you really should need a doctor is if you're in an accident and you've got a broken leg or you've cut yourself or something. That's the emergency room doctors to me are the real hero. But the pills and the elective type surgeries, I don't believe in it. I think that we can fix ourselves if we eat right, get some sunshine, get some exercise, sleep well, things like that. So um, the shingles, like I said, has been the worst. So here's what happened, and here's where there's a lot of people thought I was dead. They thought I was no longer vegan. And I want to clarify everything right now. So you get desperate after a while. I could not put on a shirt like I have now. I could not put a shirt on for 5 months, 6 months. It hurt. The sensitivity was so intense. So I went to a chiropractor and he was doing cold laser therapy, which is like a red light therapy, low level laser therapy. And he looked at me because I lost weight. I've always been a relatively thin person my whole life.
Well, so wait, so how do you know what you had was shingles? Did you go to a doctor first or you knew?
There's no question. I knew it was shingles, but then I went to the hospital and the doctor told me you got a severe case of shingles.
Okay, okay. So at that point, how you've been doing the raw diet now for 16 years, raw vegan, 100% or no?
Well, not 100% raw vegan. Like I said, I did 4.5 years of,
Okay,
and then the rest of the years, I'd say it was, I'm not kidding you here, 95 to 98% raw. I would,
okay.
I would have very little cooked food at night. And,
Okay. And
and
and what kind of cooked food was it out of curiosity?
it was basically like sweet potatoes,
Okay, okay. And
regular.
and 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 so then how much did you weigh and how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet. I've never weighed more than 160 pounds in my life. When I was in high school at my best physical uh, condition, I was about 155, 160 pounds. That's it. And when I got the shingles, I couldn't eat for a while. And oh man, I got so thin.
Before you got the shingles, what was your weight?
Okay, before I got the shingles, I was about 145.
Okay, so 145, and here you are eating a mostly raw vegan diet all these years, you never getting sick, and then you develop the shingles. Now, is shingles something you catch from somebody, or is it something that your body just gets?
Shingles is a virus. It's similar to the herpes zoster virus, like when people get cold sores. It's the same type of virus. It stays in your system. It does not leave your
So did
body.
you get this virus when you were younger?
Yes, through chicken pox. Once you've had the chicken pox,
Oh,
you got the virus.
I got you. Okay, so your body naturally suppressed it, but it comes out, it came out, and you start experiencing the symptoms of it. You go to the chiropractor. The chiropractor looks at you, you look too thin. How much weight did you lose? What did you get down to when you went to the chiropractor?
It was unreal. I was down to 124 pounds.
All right, so you lost about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, now how long did you go lose those 20 pounds? Was it 2 weeks before you finally went to a chiropractor from the time you went to the
No,
emergency room?
it was months and months, months
Two
before I was,
months, about 2 months.
yeah, I was eating raw. I tried fasting, to try and heal the shingles. And,
How long
it,
did you try to fast for?
I only did 4 days and
Was
I had
that juice or water?
just water.
Okay. Had you done any fasting prior to that?
I've done fasting, yes, but not like pure water fasting. I haven't done,
Okay.
no.
All right. So you're an active guy doing the raw. So it's a joke when people say you can't be fit and raw because you're a professional tennis player doing training sessions for the last 15 years. So everybody, if you're watching, don't even think about that lie that you can't be fit and be raw. So you're doing great, Tom, and then you get diagnosed with this shingles, and you lose 20 pounds. You go to the chiropractor. Had you been to this chiropractor before?
No.
Okay, you go to him, and what happened then?
Okay, I went to him because he was one of the few that did this cold laser therapy, low level light therapy, which it was highly recommended for shingles. So I went to him and I had to take my shirt off to get the treatments. And he looks at me and he goes, man, he goes, you need to eat. And I like the guy. He's a great guy. He's from Brooklyn too, Paul.
Oh,
And
nice, nice. It's got to be a nice guy if he's from Brooklyn.
exactly. So he says, man, he goes, you need to eat. And this guy's a big guy, he's a big, big guy. And he says, you need to get a bison burger, bison burger. So I laughed. I said, no, man, I'm vegan. I said, I'm getting everything I need. And he kept saying, you need the bison burger. And he would laugh, and I'd
But
laugh.
wait, so when he said that, did he? And you told him, no, you're vegan. Did he say that before he knew you were vegan or after?
That's a good question. I'm not quite
Because
sure.
why would he say that if he didn't know you were vegan, right?
Probably after I told him I was vegan. Yeah.
So what brought up your diet? So you told me you had shingles. Who brought up the diet part? Because what does that normally matter? Who brought up the diet, him or you?
Oh, he say that again?
Who brought up the diet, him or you? Because you go to a doctor, they normally don't ask, "Oh, you got shingles. What are you eating?" They usually don't ask that. So who brought up the diet, you or him?
I think he did. I think he brought it up because, um,
So you take off your shirt, he sees you're skinny, and then he asks you what you're eating, and you tell him you're a vegan, and
yeah,
then he tells you you need to eat a bison burger.
right, right.
Okay. And so
I was
continue.
talking, I have two brothers and a sister, and I'm talking to one of my brothers, and he goes, Tom, because they all know I'm vegan, and no one else in my family is vegan. And they would say stuff like my brother said to me, you need to shock your system, get a T-bone steak, you know. So I'm hearing T-bone steak from him. I'm hearing bison burger from the chiropractor. And then I started thinking, I mean, because now it's 7 months. I'm still dealing with neuralgia pain.
Now, Tom, being a professional athlete, did when you were doing that, did you eat a lot of animal products before you got into the raw vegan diet?
I lived on, I mean,
Okay, okay, okay.
well, in a family, we were eating eggs and bacon, hamburger,
Gotcha.
pot
Gotcha.
roast.
All right, so your brother's telling you this, your doctor's telling you this, your
Yeah,
thinking starts, your mind starts going. Now, if you were healthy and somebody told you you need to eat a burger, your reply would have been what?
yeah. Then I'd say, no way, man, I'm doing great. you know?
Okay, so but now you're sick. So what? How continue?
It's a different mindset. I mean, as time goes on, week after week, month after month, and you're still dealing with this pain, and you're thinking, man, I want to fix this, And so anyway, let me just say this, Paul, too. I became a vegan. It wasn't for ethical reasons, although I'm happy now that I'm not supporting the mistreatment of animals. But I got into it for health reasons. I had a frozen shoulder. I've had numerous problems throughout my life. I had hemorrhoids really bad. I had a fissure, which is worse than hemorrhoids. I couldn't poop. I was so constipated. It was from all the meat I was eating, plus processed food. I was eating cookies and potato chips and junk. So that's why I got into raw food. And I also told you, Paul, that I am a Bible student. And as a Bible student, when I look at the Bible in Genesis, God gave Adam and Eve, our first parents, fruits and vegetables. Okay. So I'm thinking, that's it. We got to eat fruits and vegetables. So what Doug Graham was saying to me made all the sense in the world. Eat fruits and vegetables. That's it. So when I did that, I mean, everything improved in my life. Everything. I felt so much better. I had more energy. I felt strong. I felt good. And so that's the main reason, was for health reasons. Now, when you look at the Bible, after Noah and his family came out of the ark, because humankind was totally agricultural society. Before Noah, everyone ate fruits and vegetables. Nobody was killing animals and eating them. After Noah and his family came out, God said to them, I give it all to you. In other words, you can eat the animals. Now, why did God say that? Why is the big question. And Paul, this is total speculation on my part, okay? Because I don't know exactly why. But there's numerous reasons that may be why he did that. And the first one, God knew that there would maybe be people in like in the Arctic Circle. What are those people going to eat to survive? They had to eat fish, seals, whales, a lot of high fat foods. The other reason, and this is even more interesting, because when Adam and Eve sinned, they were now imperfect people. They were no longer perfect. A perfect person would not need, let's say, to eat animals. But does an imperfect person need to? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating. All I know is that the first food that God gave humans was fruits and vegetables. So that's what we're designed for. And that is the best food for us. However, if a person is imperfect, and scientists, they don't know everything about food, but God does. God knows everything about food. And if he says, go ahead, you can eat the animals, right? It can't be so bad for us. It can't be, He's not going to tell us to eat something that's really, really bad for us. However, the Bible also says honey is good for us, but it also says too much honey will make you vomit. And too much fat from animal-based products is going to give you heart disease, cancer, diabetes, everything else. So the end of the story really is we don't know. But in my mind, a fruits and vegetables diet is still number one. It has to be because that was God's original purpose. And that's what he wants. We were designed to eat that.
Well, so it sounds to me, I want to hear the rest of your story, but it sounds to me like you're trying to find in your mind justifying if it's acceptable for us to eat animals or something. And from my take on it, I mean, the Bible's pretty clear why we started. He allowed us to eat animals because there was a flood and everything else was wiped out. There was nothing else left.
Right.
So the only choice we had was now you could eat the animals, but only in my understanding is it during that time when there was no other food, but then the food grew back,
Okay.
you know. But
I like that
every
reason.
everyone could have their speculation, and I have other teachings and topics on that subject, and I'd love to discuss them with you further. However, getting back to you, there's no wrong choice for our own personal decisions because there are personal decisions. I just want to hear your story. So, the chiropractor and your brother tells you you need to eat a burger. If you were under no pain, you would have said, no, I don't. But you were under this pain, and everything you seem to have tried, fasting and rest, didn't work. So, what was your next step?
So I ate a burger.
So, you ate a
And
burger. Now, how did you feel? How long had it been since the last time you ate a burger?
over 16 years.
All right, so I'll leave you to explain what happened when you ate that burger and where you're at now.
Okay. So I get the burger and I had it with a salad. I didn't have the bread with it. And to be honest with you, it tasted good because that's what I grew up on. You know, it was good. It was good, good meat, uh, if there is such a thing anyway. So I had no adverse reaction to it whatsoever. It didn't affect my digestion. Um, but well, on second thought, I should say it did have somewhat of an adverse reaction. And here's what I think it is. When we eat meat, it creates that acidic reaction in the body. You, you know, acid is hot, alkaline is cool. And, you know, I think that actually in the long run, the meat will hurt you because it's creating acid. Acid is not healing. Alkaline is more healing. It's cooling to the body. It's not hot. So I had a couple of more burgers after that. Right now, I am back to totally raw vegan. And this is probably where I'll stay. You know, I can't say for 100% sure because I don't know what I'm going to do 5 years from now, 10 years, you know. But
Sure.
but
I,
right now, I, as I mentioned in the beginning, there's no question. This is the original diet that man was designed for. Raw vegan, fruits, mainly fruits. And there's no question in my mind. Fruit is the healthiest food on the planet. There's no
so,
question.
so, couple of questions. Now, when the chiropractor told you to eat a burger, was it because you said you're vegan or because it had something to do with the shingles? I mean, was a burger supposed to take care of the shingles?
yeah, the burger, the way the typical people think, you need more protein to heal, so we know you get plenty of protein with a vegan diet,
Well,
but they
did the burger take care of the shingles? Did you eat a burger and the shingles went away?
have neuralgia from it. I
Say that again.
To this day, I still have neuralgia, post-herpetic neuralgia on my side, right here, mainly in the front and on the side. And it still hurts. It's still not completely healed. However, March 19th, it'll be exactly 9 months since I first got the shingles. And according to the medical community, the post-herpetic neuralgia goes away completely within 1 year. And I'm like, I'm at 9 months. So I'm confident mine will go away because every day it gets better and better. And I can exercise more because stretching it, see, I couldn't do overhand things, like it would hurt. But now when I stretch my torso, sometimes I get sharp pain, but I just kind of, go as far as I can. I feel that pain, then I come back a little. And, I ease off if I feel a lot of pain. But it's the exercise more than anything that helps you cure the shingles. Exercise and time.
And going back to your story, I'm glad to hear that you currently back on a raw vegan diet, but the time you ate the burgers and so on and things like this, how many burgers did you eat? What else did you eat that was animal based, and how did it affect your weight?
Okay. Um, how many burgers? I don't know exactly. Um, 6, 8 burgers. I don't know. And uh, I did eat some sardines. Okay. It was just in spring water. And you can get them at Trader Joe's, um, and they didn't seem to bother me that much either. But the point is, what happened, Paul, um, I gained weight. I'm back up to like 140, close to 145. But it slows your digestive system down. Like instead of having my regular 2, 3 bowel movements a day, I'm only having one, and it's not even that good. And uh, so, and then you get that acidic feeling in your body. How do I describe that? Well, it's like what's the word? Like neuropathy or something. Like your hands, your feet, and these shingles do
Sure.
not feel well. They don't feel well. They burn more. You feel that prickly pain. You know. So, I realized, okay, you gotta just get back to raw vegan. And as soon as I started raw vegan again, within 2 or 3 days, um, I can feel my body already feeling better. So
Now,
I'll
go
I'll
ahead.
probably I'll probably lose a little bit of weight, but as long as I can keep exercising, my muscles will grow, and muscles are heavier than fat. So,
Yeah. So, when you're doing the raw vegan diet or have done, have you taken any supplements?
well, during this shingles thing, I took more supplements than I've ever taken during my previous 16 years
No,
because
in the 16 years did you take supplements?
I
Did
did
you
not
did you do your blood work ever on a regular basis?
much. No, no.
No. Okay. Yeah, I always say it's wise every once in a blue moon I do it every year, but even once every 5 years, no matter what diet somebody's eating, just to take a blood test to make sure you're getting what you need.
Yeah.
It's always good to do that. But I think you look great. I've seen your videos. Your videos look great. When it comes to just eating this type of diet, people have to consider their past history and also their current history and also the quality of fruit we're getting, how much we're eating, what times we're eating it, because it's a big difference if we're getting our own grown fruit versus store-bought, which is picked unripe. It's a big difference the quantity we're eating and the times we're eating. If I'm eating overeating at midnight on on mangoes versus eating them in at midday and exercising and eating, all this makes a big difference. But you're doing it. You're successful. Uh, you've been doing this 16 years, and what would you say to those people that said this diet doesn't work because, this guy was doing this and he went off? Because I saw a video of some crazy channel, some meat obsessed people saying, "Oh, another person fails at a raw vegan diet." What would your reply be to somebody like that?
Well, they have all kinds of kind of bogus stories, and you know they you know basically you can't go against the diet you're designed for. It's like trying to put some kind of other, a rocket, a jet needs rocket fuel. You can't put some other kind of fuel. And with us, we do best with fruits and vegetables. Um, I know you see these guys like on YouTube. One guy in particular is that Dr. Paul Saladino. Have you seen him?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So he looks very fit, and he comes up with all these studies, and that's why even his videos make you think, you know did God allow meat because he thought that imperfect people needed it to help them? And that's something that's still in my mind that could be a possibility, you know?
Well, you have to remember this, Tom, that being fit and being healthy aren't necessarily the same thing. Most people that are in the gym that are fit and they look amazing, men and women, they're very unhealthy. They're killing themselves.
They're young. That's the thing. Most of them are under 50 or 60. If you're under 60, you can look great, but your arteries could be so clogged up with arterial plaque, and you die, boom, like that from a heart attack or a stroke. So, um,
What does
I,
age have to do with that? Can't you be older and look great and still
yeah,
be
but
unhealthy?
usually, if you're on a high carnivore diet, a high fat diet, you're going to hit the wall usually around you'll start hitting the wall in the 50s, in the 50s. Then they'll put you on high blood pressure medicine to start, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Sure.
Uh,
Have you heard of Dr. Fred Bishy?
yes, I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing. I just saw him a couple of days ago. He's 95 years old and he's been on 100% raw vegan diet for maybe the last 60 years.
Is
And
he weights?
well, he had a shoulder injury. He doesn't lift weights, but he's very fit. He actually, like all of us, we have our accidents in lives and things happening. Uh but he's thriving and he looks amazing and you know, I would consider him my mentor in helping me with this, but he just shows us that you can eat a raw vegan diet long term, and if you do it the right way, regardless of the accidents. As a matter of fact, he says if it wasn't for the way he's eating, he'd be dead with all the accidents that happened. I
Mm.
mean, he and I mean, I see it all the time. I see it. I know him personally, but I see what's working and what's not working for people. And when I see Doug's videos and your videos and things like this, there aren't a lot of people that are willing to stick with this long term uh, to see the great results. But when I meet people like Dr. Bishi, I know it's possible.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Most people, you know, they do something for 2 weeks, and if they don't get a result, they think, oh, forget it. You
yeah,
know, raw vegan, like you say, it can take a year for people to heal things like eczema, psoriasis, stuff like that. It takes a long time for your body to heal. And nerves, which are damaged uh, from shingles, also heal very slowly. Nerves.
absolutely, absolutely. And there are some things that just like you said, this virus that you got growing up. Like I know I hear stories about people that have teeth issues when they go vegan. Well, their teeth issues came before they were vegan, not because they were vegan, and a whole bunch
Exactly.
of things like this. Uh,
Yeah.
so what's your plan moving forward now? I know I'm not long term. I know you don't know what's going on, but when you see people like Paul Saladino and these other people promoting the carnivore diet, are you getting confused in your mind, or are you?
I'm not confused. Um, I don't think a high fat diet like that, where people are eating meat for the main source of calories, is a good idea. I do not think it's a good idea because I know I've been through that years ago. I'll tell you a quick story. I was having problems. So I go to this doctor. He's famous. He's written books, and it's the eat right for your blood type. I'm type O. He told me you can eat as much meat as you want because your digestive system is so good, you burn it up, there's no problem. You can eat meat. So that gave me, the green light. So now I'm eating hamburgers all the time. I'm eating steaks, everything, fish, eggs, bacon, whatever. I was so clogged up. I got so sick with hemorrhoids and fissures. And if anyone knows what a fissure is, it's one of the most painful things. It would take me, I'd have to rest for an hour or two after a bowel movement. It was so painful. And um, so it's not sustainable, a high fat diet. We were not designed for it. Maybe a little bit of meat here and there was helping people survive, like you said, when they came out of the ark. There was no fruit. There were no vegetables. They had to eat something to survive, and thank goodness they did eat the meat. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. You
Sure,
know,
sure, sure, sure. Well, really good information that you have here, and I think people should check out your videos. And I know you explain all this, and I appreciate your transparency. That's so uh amazing in today's world where you're so transparent and honest. So, what is your YouTube channel?
I
Oh,
appreciate that very much. What you just said. Thank you so much. Because hey, God sees everything. We can't hide anything from Him. So you
well,
got.
that's the thing, Tom. You're you're not most young people or a lot of young people do stuff for business. They want to make money and they're young and they just want to, tell people things that'll sell products. Man, you're 75 years old and you're a believer in God and you just want people to be healthy and you want to share what's made you healthy. And it shows on your videos.
That's it.
Yeah,
You said it in a nutshell. This helped me. Maybe it can help you. Because I don't like to see people suffer. I
exactly.
actually, I actually think, man, if I could go back in life, I would have become a doctor just so I had that MD after my name and people would listen to me more, you know?
Yeah.
But
I tell people do what's working for you. And if it's working for you, then do it. But the question comes down to is how do you know what's working for you? And it's like we don't know what feeling good is like until we feel good. And it's hard to explain how amazing somebody could feel eating this way if they've never done it. But it's
Like you said, nobody does it long enough to
yeah.
experience that. They give up too quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, everybody. So this is Tom. Tom, in finishing the interview, I'm going to send everybody to your website and your social media links. The links are below, everybody. Click on them and check Tom out if you have any questions. But Tom, what's your message to people out there about everything we discussed here?
Well, my message would be this: eat fruits and vegetables. Nuts, seeds, are okay in moderate amounts, small amounts. That is the optimal diet for humans. Now, if you fall victim to some cooked food or even an animal food, if you do it, because you were craving it or whatever, don't beat yourself up over it. Just relax and get back to fruits and vegetables. That's the key. In a nutshell, that would be it. Fruits and vegetables are, without a doubt, I've said this 10 times already in this interview, that's what we're designed for.
Exactly. And
Put the wrong fuel in the machine.
I tell people just because you can get away with doing something doesn't mean it's ideal for you.
Right.
You know, There's
And I got away with some hamburgers. I'm still okay. I'm still functioning. I'm getting better. But I know the real health is going to come from live, living food, not a dead piece of meat. And exercise is key, and sunshine, sleep, good relationships. Yeah.
all right, everybody. There you go. There you have it.